Good afternoon. It's 5 to 4 and it's 5 to live. You're with me, Kelsey Leverton. This is your 4 p.m. movement snack. So you're in the right place if this is the snack that you want. You might be on Catch-a-Ruppering on Facebook, or you might be accessing these movement snacks via YouTube. If you're on YouTube, do a like and a little subscribe at the bottom, and it will notify you when the new snacks are live, because they go up at the end of each week. Ken, good afternoon. Let's just have a little look. I might be, oh no, here we go again. I'm looking for the one that makes me look good. We'll see if it's this one. One of them just gives a nice glow. There we go. It's like the lights have come on. We'll have this filter. Ready for the twirls then, Ken? Give us a twirl. Good to have you here. Just me and thee at the minute. Mrs. Perry's joined us. I feel like I'm having a deja vu from yesterday. I'm sure you came in this order yesterday as well. The filter this is the filter that I was looking for. I didn't tell you that I'd got a filter on yesterday. It's just like somebody's put the lights on a little bit. I've got like professional lighting going on in the background. Right, we've got Michelle in. Michelle, a new name. I don't think I've had you on one of my movement snacks today. Hello and welcome to the clan. Maddie's just arrived as well. It does, Bex, doesn't it? It gives one's face a healthy glow, which is good for me today. I think I need to look a little more healthy. I've got a little bit of sinusitis, you know, when you've got some pressure in your head and your nose and everything. I think it's the tail end of the cold just gripping onto me for that last little bit. George has just arrived. 10 to go until you've done your 100th knee bend, squat, jockey lift, sit to stand, whatever you want to call it. Yes, I think I've got 20 more to go. So I tell you what, George, we'll finish that 10 off that you've got, and we'll add everybody else's total up another 10 by the end of this movement snack. If you're a bit late to the party with this one, we are on day 3. Here's Carol Kent. Maybe you can do the accent a little bit better. Day 3 in the sit to stand house. And we are aiming for some daily goals for sit to stands, jockey lifts, bum squeezes, your own bum that is that you're squeezing everybody, knee bends, squats, any of or all of the above, a variation of all of the above. We're aiming, well, I'm aiming for 100 a day. I know a few of you are with me on the 100 extra per day, but we've got some of you aiming for 20, 50, some of you got to 70 the other day. Carol Kent, she's not very good at accents, but she's got another 10 to go as well. Are you aiming for 100 as well, Carol? I can't keep track of us all who are stepping up to this this challenge. I'm really chuffed actually that loads of you are saying, yes, I'm doing this, I've achieved this many today. So what we'll do then, yes, is by the end of the movement snack, we will have, actually I might do it after Circ Boost. If we put our 10 in just after Circ Boost, then our legs are nice and warm, and then we can stretch and be done with it. Well done. Yes, Carol's aiming for 100. Sandra's achieved 50 today. You've got a few more to do though, going on after into the early evening then. And it's just that little and often thing. That's what it's all about. And before you know it, you've done loads more than you'd normally do. So there we go. It's just as it is. I'm hoping through my 100 squats a day throughout the entire month is what I'm aiming to do. Some of you might want to hold my hand on that. Some of you might not. And that's okay. Sue's just done 10 whilst we've been chattering. Maddie did a few in the water after aqua. Brilliant. This is all good. And you're taking them and going with them. It's kind of a wash and go approach to sit to stand, squats, knee bends and all the other stuff. Right, it is 4 o'clock. We're going to do some circ boost. We are going to put 10 more in and then our sway routine and then our stretch sequence. Are you ready? Here's your 3, 2, 1. Good afternoon and welcome. You're with me, Kelsey Leverton. It is 4 o'clock. It's sway and stretch time. This is our final hosted movement snack for the day. And do as much or as little as you like. It is Wednesday, the 3rd of, I nearly said October. I nearly reversed the month. November 2021. Are you ready? Yes, Bex, you can change sit to stands for some lunges. Any of the above, anything that's leggy, let's say. What's that? Like mushroom instead of pineapple on the pizza? Absolutely. Although you have to have pineapple with jalapenos. Right, we are going to do some posture setting up a ring and then some circ boosting. So seated or standing, legs in a long line all the way down to your feet, lifting through your posture, shouldering your circle in a backwards direction and lengthening through the neck. Seated prompts, pretty much the same there. Foot pedals is where you may want to start in standing. Just before you start foot pedaling away in seated, if you've done all the postury bits, take a little bit of a hip shift, a hip walk forwards, set your feet up and then off you go. Just a steady pace, a manageable pace that's right for you is the right pace to be at here, which might be a little bit slower than me, might be a bit faster, or it might be just as the same as me. I've got the girls staring at me through the glass over there. Everyone just stick your tongue out to them. So sitting tall, bringing that into a leg march. Now in standing, you've probably got some options for external support around you. Sometimes when we get our legs lifting into the leg march and when we get our upper body involved, it might throw you a bit of a balance challenge. We don't want the balance to be challenged here, so keep your external support close by, use it as you need it. I've got myself in a little bit of a squashed corner here. Let me just make things a little bit bigger for me. All right, so keep that steady pace going. We're going to think about bringing in some upper body, some upper arm movements. So opposite arm to leg. You might want to drip feed just one of your arms in first. You might want to just swap sides and have a go with the other. Or you might want to bring both arms in together. So we're walking on the spot here, rolling through the feet. The toes are the last to leave the floor. So you're pushing and powering up from your heel and lifting the knee, of course. And then the toes are the first bit of your foot to land back down. So we've got a rolling action, incorporating a bit more ankle moves in there. In seated, your hips might be feeling this. So you might want to just rest your feet down, take your arms through the arm march, maybe bring in the arm settling your feet back to a nice still position. And if you would like to, have a go at either some foot pressing into the floor, tightening up your thighs and relax. That could be your first one. a jockey lift. Could do 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 jockey lifts if you like. You could come into a full sit to stand and slowly lower back down. You could do a sit to stand whereby you just touch your bum. Hold on to support if you like. Or just a few knee bends. Little bit lower if your knees are feeling good. A little bit shallower if your knees are a bit grumbly with that knee bending squat type action. I'm going to do 3 more. And Carol and George, you're probably up to your 100th one right now. I've got another 10 to do, which I'll do after the movement snack. And you can do as many or as little as you like. Anything extra is a gain. Right, legs should be feeling nice and warm now, so we're going to leave the legs alone and we're just going to focus on through some arm movements into our twirls version of the sway. So we are going to keep the shoulder roll that Bex did with you in the beginnings of wavy arm thing. We're going to keep the stick 'em up position. We're going to keep the squeeze back and the push forwards. And here's where our hands come together. Thumbs are together. Turn your wrists so your palms are up and then roll through to your thumbs and push down with the palms down. I'm just going to come in a bit closer so you can see that a little bit better. So have a go at it again. Pushing forwards, the thumbs are together. We go inwards, open, roll and press away. Hopefully that close-up just gave you a bit more of what's going on there. The second part is we're going to push forwards again, then just roll the arms and fingers around until the palms are upwards and then float down. And the final bit is pushing forwards a little bit lower and doing that full turny, twirly, rolly, pressy thing on the way down. And pause there. Let's have a go at that again. So seated or standing is exactly the same. If in standing you want to have your feet just that bit wider or your hips leaning against something or just touching a side that's close by to you, that might allow you to work both of your arms at the same time. If not, come into seated and then of course balance, we can take away that element. So a shoulder roll, always round, up, back and down. Just bringing your hands up and forwards into stick 'em up. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Push forward slowly. Turn, elbows are coming out. Palms together through to the thumb. And we've got a diagonal press down and away. Sweep that back up and press forwards again. Just the turn of the wrists. Palms are up and float the arms down again. And then we've got that final press forwards. Taking the arms through that full twisty turny, palms in, palms away, move. We're going to move on just to bolt on to something now. So keep your feet out wide. We've just pressed away. We're going to do a 1, 2, crossing across the body, coming out to here, but then floating the arms down. I'll just turn there, palms down. So I did right, left then, and then the opposite side, left, right, up, open, turn the palms away and float the arms down. Have a little go at that on your own. So we've just floated down, 1, 2, look at the hands, they come out wide, we turn the palms down and float, and then I'm going to go left, right. So that's got a little bit of a faster sweep through there. I'm back at my right, left. So it's kind of a scoot under there. 1, 2, and then the brakes are on. We slow it back down and continue through that circle. Shall we have one more time through? I'm going to do this one in seated. So standing tall, sitting tall, hips resting against something in standing if you would like. Beginning with our shoulder roll, lift up, back, down, floating the arms up to stick them up, squeeze back, press forwards, turn the wrists, roll through the hands and press down. Float the arms back through, have another push forwards, just through the wrists this time, palms stay upwards and float down. And then the final of our twirl move is that full version, palms down and away. Are we ready to sweep? There we go, 1, 2, slow, and feel the arms just float down beside you. Let's go left, right, presuming that you went right, left on the first try, and then relax back down. And there we have your sway routine with a little bit pinched from wavy arm thing, but turning into and moulding into our twirls. Right, ready for a stretch then. We're going to do the upper side stretch first. Seated or standing, it's your choice. Hand towards the shoulder, lifting through the elbow. Not only getting some length through the back of the arm, but under the arm and down into the side of your ribs as well. Keeping the head best you can in its central, neutral position. Ease the arm upwards a little bit more if you can. If you want to, breathe in, lift, try and lengthen through your spine. Hold it there if you would like, or straighten the arm up. Hold your external support or side of your chair and give an extra tilt and a reach. Then come on out of it at a steady, controlled pace. Second side then. Oh, I've got the girls tiptoeing through. They're trying to be really discreet with all the creaky doors. Lifting up. It's not my creaky arms or shoulders, by the way. Note to self, sort the door creak. Lifting tall, feeling where you can feel over the back of your shoulders or back of your head or neck. Lifting up a little bit more, and if you want to fully arm stretch your arm up and an extra reach, you can be holding on to the side of your chair or your external support if you're in standing. Chest stretch we progress on to. So I'm going to reach the arms back, holding on low towards the back of the chair, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and there we have one version of the chest stretch. Another position you can have your hands in is down at the side of your hips, kind of in your back pockets area. And then you'll squeeze your shoulder blades together from there. Seated or standing, you can do this. Lifting through the chest, lifting through the trunk as well. But trying to not bring any hunchiness into your shoulders. Now, improving the flexibility of your chest will help you with anything whereby you need to reach behind you. And also, this is a great stretch to do to free up any tension that you might have in the chest area and allow your shoulders to move that bit better. Relax, recover, and hold it there. All right, so some of you may or may not want this stretch. We can really only do this stretch in standing. So if you are in seated right now, here's your option. You're going to do a back of thigh stretch, which we will repeat again during this movement snack. A double stretch for the back of thigh is great for extra benefits of flexibility. So we've got a long leg, we've got a straight knee, we've got hands on the bent leg, and you're coming up. Those of you who are in standing, just hold on a minute and I'll be right with you. So hold in that position where you can feel the stretch tension in the back of your knee and up your thigh. Now, if you are in standing, we're going to stretch the muscles that have been working throughout your sit to stand or jockey lift squat challenge. Two ways you can do this. We didn't do this one yesterday, but you can try and lift your leg, catch hold of your trouser leg, shoe, ankle, foot, and try and have the legs together. I'm going to do this slightly easier option here. The knees are together and you should feel that stretch into the front thigh there. Now, because you're in standing and you're on one leg, you're going to need to hold on. You don't want to be wibble wobbling around on this particular one. If that's not suitable for you, then come into that position that we did yesterday, just with a small knee bend and a pelvic tilt forwards. So that will stretch into the hip and down into the thigh a bit as well. So this is kind of a modified calf stretch position with the heel up at the back rather than down. Let's have a rest there, whichever stretch you're doing, seated, standing, or on the one leg. Let's have a think about changing sides, shifting the weight if you're going for that one leg. Catch your foot, hold your trouser leg, try and bring the knees level with one another, and again, you can try and push your hips forwards. Or you might just feel the stretch straight off. Here's your seated version. Ankle loose, we've changed legs, up through the posture and leaning through. Leaning and tilting rather than hunching and rounding, however. Should feel that in the back of your thigh. If that one-legged front of thigh stretch is not your cup of tea, then step one leg back, the heels up on the back leg. You've got just a little bend through the knees, but a good old pelvic tilt to bring some stretch sensation into the front of the leg. So quite a lot of options going on there. Hopefully you've chosen the one that suits you the best. And relax on out of it. Our calf stretch. So here's your standing calf stretch. We're going into that stride back position, but this time maybe a little bit longer with the stride, and definitely with the heel down at the back. Now here we're going to bend the front knee a little bit, so we look like we're going to try and push something. So there's your calf stretch in standing. Here's your calf stretch in seated. Sitting tall, that's all we need with the top half here. With one leg out straight and the toes being brought back towards you. Now that position of the ankle is held nice and still whilst we allow the back of thigh, well, the calf muscle, the back of the lower leg muscle to lengthen. You might feel like a pulling sensation in any area that you're stretching. Let's change sides. So ultimately a stretch held for 12 seconds minimum, 15, 20, you could even progress it to a nice long hold of 30 seconds if that feels good for you. That gives the muscle group that we're stretching, just going to come into the standing version, a real decent length of time to get into the stretch, to relax a little bit, for the stretch tension to give, and for you to maybe progress it a little bit deeper. And it's through the longer holds, you responding to how your body feels, that will help you progress within these stretches and within your flexibility. Right, bring it up and out. And for the final stretch, we're going to do that sat down. So if you are in standing, reverse, slowly, with an extra little hold here if you like, if your legs are up for it, but then another little hip walk forwards. Those of you who've been sat throughout doing the stretches, you're going to get a double dose of hamstring back of thigh stretch right now. So let's do that all together. Leg long and straight. The knee is not locked, but it's not popped up either. Lifting through, leaning forwards. Try and keep the rib cage up and away from the hips to maintain that length in the spine rather than a rounding through the spine. You might find that on this second stretch, you're able to go a little bit further straight off. So it shows you how the body responds and reacts to repetitiveness. And recover there. Let's change sides for our final stretch on our last leg, lifting up, supporting the upper body there and getting into that muscle around those muscles. It's not just the one, there's a few around in the hamstrings, around the back of your knee. You'll feel that. A nice long hold with some breathing added to it to help with the relaxation. And before you know it, you'll be reaching down towards your feet. It might still be a bit tricky, but it might be a bit easier too. Or you might not be able to reach your feet, but you can after a few weeks, a few months of repeating these important stretches. Recover, sit tall, bring your feet back to normal and take a pause there. That brings us to the end of our movement snack today. I guess keep on crowbarring, keep on knee bending, squatting, sit to standing, because you know it makes sense. And all of these little additional bits and pieces should be working you quite well. Right, there we go. All done from here, from me to you. Have a lovely evening. I'll see you on the 4 p.m. tomorrow, and keep on crowbarring in those extra knee bends or squats, everyone. Have a lovely evening. Well done, everyone. It's great to hear your totals. Cheers.